Press Start Podcast.
And welcome back to the Press Start Podcast. I'm your host, Vic, aka Mr. Never Chill, and this is episode number 194. And this week I'm welcome back my co-host, Roger, aka Lunatic Oblivion. What is going on, man?
Nothing much. How about yourself?
Another Sunday. It's been a while since we had a regular episode because the last one that we did was like the live coverages of all the summer shenanigans that was going on, and we're back again with some more summer shenanigans, and it's pretty bad in the gaming industry right now. But at least we're still trying to have fun playing games and enjoying the hobby. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing a lot less games over the last few weeks, and it's due to the news. Honestly, it's killing my entire interest in wanting to game right now. But we will dive into that soon enough. But without further ado, man, let's just talk about what we've been playing over the last, few weeks, give or take. Um, that we have been playing. I guess I forgot to add that other game onto our list. So yeah, let's just kick it off with a couple of the games that we actually been playing and beating over the last few weeks, and let's just start with Sworn. Sworn was a nice roguelike um game that we got to check out. Obviously, this was our was this our second back to yeah, because we beat Absalom first, and then we beat Sworn. Keep trying to keep track of all of them. We beat fucking three roguelites in the last like month or so. But yeah, I thought Sworn was actually really good, and it kept having me like wanting to play more and coming back and
Mhm.
finding the best builds and stuff like that. And then we get to the point where we were just like unstoppable, just doing an insane amount of damage. But yeah, man, what was your overall thoughts with Sworn?
I thought Sworn was a silly fun game. I almost enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Hades.
Right.
Because I liked playing with you and me versus just like by myself. I thought that
Hmm.
Hades was okay. It just I got to the final boss of Hades even, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me, coach. I'm just not feeling it.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like after beating Sworn, I downloaded Hades because I never played Hades 1 or 2, and I was like, yeah, I mean that was a lot of fun. If it's a very
Hmm.
similar play style, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. I hopped into Hades. I'm like, I feel like this game's missing something.
Yeah.
Like not
I
knowing your award, like your reward that you would get at the end of the like you have to know the symbols. If you don't know the symbols, then you're fucked. And I'm just like, I need to know, like at least going in, so like you could choose, like I know what I'm getting out of this. In Sworn, it
Mhm.
kind of just told you, and just like that cooperative aspect, like makes the game just that much better. I think Sworn, I just felt
Yeah.
like I don't know, it's not fun. And I'm like, where
I
was this
100%
excitement?
with you.
Because that game was like top tier, like game of the year worthy and stuff like that. I'm like, but where? I don't see it.
Yeah, I thought Hades being the game that it was, like, don't get me wrong, it was a good game, but it's just
Maybe it
not the
gets
game for
better,
me.
right? Maybe it gets better from the
Yeah.
beginning because it's very just, I don't know, not it, not it, coach. So I mean, and it's a really long game apparently. Like I thought
Hmm.
Sworn was perfect. Like it took us what, I don't know how long it really took us. I didn't keep track of how long we even played it. We just hopped in, played as much as we could, and
Yeah,
until we beat it in a few
we
days.
kept hitting it over and over again. We were like, we'll come back to it. All right, let's play again. All right, we'll come back to it. All right, let's play again. And it was back and forth. And honestly, I had a ton of fun doing it.
Yeah.
It felt good. I wanted to go back every time. And then we picked up another one right after, which was Abyssius, which
Mhm.
I don't know what it is, but like roguelikes are my thing right now. Like I really
Mhm.
liked roguelikes, but now I really love roguelikes and I don't know why. I just want to keep going and playing and playing and playing. And I
Right.
even you were like, "Man, I thought I'd hate roguelikes. I like this."
Right, yeah, because
And
yeah,
I
I was
was
telling you
like,
during our one
"Shit,
playthrough, the
man."
one time I was like, I have always stayed away from roguelikes because me, I don't like replaying the
Yep.
game over and over and over again because I died. Like I despise it. That's
Mhm.
actually why I don't like playing Souls like games. And it's like because you get to the point you're like, oh, I beat all these people, and you get to this like hard ass elite enemy and you get fucking wiped, and you got to go through all of those enemies again. And I'm like, no, I'm good, coach. Like I just can't do this right now.
Thanks, Chief. I'm good. Have a good
Right.
day. Bye.
But it's been pretty cool, like with the three I mean, even more than that over the last year that I played with roguelikes. Like even as down to that
Mhm.
that slot machine game. that's a roguelike game. Like
Yep.
even like with the poker game, I'm drawing a blank on it. What the fuck was the card game one? A couple years,
Well, you started with
Balatro. Yeah,
Balatro.
yeah, Balatro. Like
Yeah.
that, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. And then like you played that dice one that released the Game Pass not that long ago. And then that blackjack one that came out too that I haven't checked out yet. But yeah, man, there's just been like a wide variety of like different takes on
Hmm.
on that genre, which has been pretty cool because like it could get really stale. Like when you look at battle royales, like it's literally the same game just in a different fucking engine over and over and over and over and over. So it's like
Hmm.
I don't want to play this no more. Nothing's different. It's all the same. Whatever. This
I've
I don't
played.
know. It's
I've seen
different.
this game before. What's weird? It's weird. I've seen this. I've been here before.
Right.
No, I know the feeling.
But yeah, it's speaking on Abyssius though, like it just recently dropped on the Game Pass. Was it like June 25th? I think it was for the release date.
It was
Day
day one
one.
release.
Yeah, so that was really cool, and it was like a different take on it because like it was a first person shooter, but it played like Doom. So like it was very fast paced. The abilities were awesome. The different guns were awesome. Like stacking the abilities, like having an ability for obviously your primary fire rate or your secondary, and then
Mhm.
your gadget per se. Um, what was it? Your special? I think it was in that game. It's called like whether it
Mhm.
was grenades or turrets and stuff like that, and it was just goofy. And then we picked up Phil, and it just became overkill. Like nothing stood a chance with three people. Like I don't think that game scaled really well when you added another player, but
Like
it
I
was still
felt
fun.
there were times where you're just like, oh man, I'm just not doing as much damage anymore. But like even then I was like, man, we are fucking crippling these kids out here.
Yeah, the amount of damage that you started to put up, like when you mastered your build, was just insane. You were putting up like
Hmm.
3 or 4 times the amount of damage that we were doing. But what was really cool
Hmm.
was having my one ability with Brian having the ability to insta kill anybody that had 25% or less health on bosses. Perfect. Loved it. How many
Yeah.
times did I do
It
it?
was just it got silly. It like the final boss, I was just like the one playthrough we were chilling and I was like, all right, let's do this. And it was just like we get to the second phase and it was like gone. He blinked out of existence and I was like,
You're like, what happened? I have this ability,
shoot.
by the way.
And I was talking about how like I remember when I used to play Dead Island and there was a build there where you could just like instant kill stuff and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Well, I was playing with my friend Fighter Fu and we got to the end and he just walked up to the final boss and just like one hit and I was like throat punch the boss and he just dies and I was like, wait,
Yeah.
hold up.
Yeah, such a broken thing, but it's so cool. Like, and the thing is, like my build, like it only had a 10 to 12% chance of doing that, but it
Hmm.
happened a lot more than a 10 to 12% chance. Like it happened a good bit.
Well, well, if you're throwing 50 times, like
Yeah,
eventually it's gonna hit.
yeah, it was crazy because like I had I was throwing Brian, so I filled him up where you start with 3, but then I maxed it out as 6, and then I had it so like it refilled itself when it hit them, but then it split into multiple of them, so then it was like multiplying even more. It was just getting
And
annoying.
each one of those had a 10% chance, a
Right,
15% chance, and you're just like, I'm gonna win. It's
right,
just win.
right. So it's like I stopped even using my gun. Like I never had a chance to even use the gun anymore. It was just like Brian, 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 Brian,
Brian, Brian,
Brian,
Brian,
Brian.
Brian,
Yeah,
Brian.
yeah. It was just nuts.
Hmm.
But yeah, man. Let's talk about just one more game here. The other one that we started playing around the same time we started at Abyssius was Nightingale. This is like this open world sandbox crafting survival uh
Hmm.
methodical fantasy. I like it. It's like a conglomerate of like so many different like genres and whatnot.
Hmm.
But it, the game's getting better the more that we play it. Like during the first realm, you're like, okay, whatever, and then you start unlocking like
This
different
is
abilities and just to make the gameplay just that much better. Like even as small as like when you have to go mining for resources, like you have to keep hitting the rock over and over and over and over and over. Now you have the ability, you just activate it on your fucking axe, hit the motherfucker once, and that's it. It's like that is a great fucking mechanic. But yeah, man, what's your overall thoughts on Nightingale?
I'm I do need to take breaks in between the realms because I feel like right now a lot of the game is just farming and that is annoying.
Yeah.
it's just like, all right, run to the next one, run to the next one. I am getting the slog behind it where it's starting to slow me down, which
Mhm.
sucks.
Yeah.
That's why I was like today, I was like, we need to stop here, guys. It
Yeah,
was fun.
we played for a few
We got to take
hours,
a
so I
break.
mean, it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense. We were definitely toughing out, but it is cool though, like to have like the NPCs, like you can put them on certain tasks to gather
Hmm.
the tedious fucking resources that you do need, like trees and sticks and plants and food and all the other shit
Hmm.
that you can have them collect. But yeah, like I don't know, it's definitely a lot of fun. You can see the rough edges around it, like when you get stuck in rocks or climbing is very very clunky. Like it's probably the worst thing I do. I hate it. I hate climbing in the game. If anything, and there's a lot of things that you have to do in the game that requires you to climb. So I'm like, fuck me, this is not good.
Like the newest zone we just hit. Oh,
Yeah,
even I was like, fuck climbing.
yeah, yeah. It
Fuck
was
the police. I was done.
yeah. It's a pretty good game though. It's not bad. Like
No.
I'm glad we finally decided to actually download and play because we bought it like when it was on sale like a few months ago and we were like, man, we'll finally play it now. It's 1.0 or
Someday.
whatever.
Someday.
Yeah, and we finally got around to it. So yeah, man, that's all the games we've been playing over the last week. Any other ones you wanted to highlight before we move on to the chaoticness of the games industry?
Oh god, dude. It is absolutely wild. Let's just talk about the game industry.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and check out the industry news. All right, man. Yeah, if you just want to kick us off with one of three, we only have three industry news this week. Most of it's all in the gaming news. I just dropped it all into there, and it's really just two fucking main topics, being Xbox and PlayStation. Hence the title of the stream. But kick us off, man. What's happening? This is actually part of the reason why everything is the way it is, partially.
Yeah. So RAM manufacturers are currently being sued because the the lawsuits saying that Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron of playing a large part in what's dubbed as the Ramageddon, where they've been fixing the prices of RAM as opposed to actually pegging them to supply and demand. They've been underinflating the supply so that the demand can't it just goes too high and people can't get RAM. So then there's a shortage, which causes prices to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a weird situation we're in right now where people are accusing them that they're the reason why the prices are high. It's not just data centers, but there's more to it.
Right.
And so it's an interesting thing to if true would be
Right.
insane.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me though on the flip side, which sucks.
No, it already goes against them already because back in 2005, Samsung agreed to plead guilty and pay a $300 million
Mhm.
fine because they they had an international conspiracy to fix prices in the DRAM market. So it's like
Mhm.
they've already done this once before. Who's to say they're not trying to do this again? It's just it's
Exactly.
much worse now because of like dealing with AI and all those data
AI.
centers and stuff like that that are demanding they need all of it. They're buying up all of it and are just making everything else go up. Every game console. I mean,
Mhm.
we're seeing the prices for the Nintendo Switch 2, the Xbox consoles, the PlayStation consoles, the new Steam consoles, all going up. Computer prices are through the roof. Like it's getting really out of hand. It's becoming like so like it's pricing out most consumers in a hobby that's supposed to
It's
just be enjoyed by
as we
everybody.
talked about in the past, it's the thing is it's no longer a hobby that everyone can get into anymore. It's a hobby that only the rich or well off are able to keep up with. It we're looking at $70 games, only virtual games. So like we'll talk about that in a minute as well, but like we're just in a weird situation where it's not good for anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, is it hopefully they can get that figured out because if they can get the RAM situation figured out, the market will fix itself. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
typical
like
economics.
if somebody has to step in and go, "Hey guys, you've been artificially inflating this. Like, what you're doing is actually illegal. You can't do this," and then they fix that. we may see, better. It would be better for consumers. Like, it's what I've said before is like consumers are getting screwed for a long time now.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's talk about some more unfortunate news. So Microsoft obviously owning Blizzard. Blizzard themselves are apparently moving forward with a summons request against Project Ascension personnel. This is obviously the World of Warcraft like modded version of the game that we played a few months back and had a ton of
Hmm.
fucking fun. Again, another roguelike type of experience, more or less, where you can like the randomly generated builds, you just don't know what you get and stuff like that. Um, and it's just getting out of hand. Honestly, like, why are they target like I guess like because like they were monetizing some of the private realms and some of the stuff you can do in it. That's
Hmm.
where like you can't do that stuff. Like if you're going to have this kind of content and have these kind of mods, it has to stay
You're not
100%
supposed to.
free. That'll keep them off of your back and off your like completely off their radar. But when you start charging, that's when they're like, "Nope, that's our stuff that you're making money off of. You're going to have to shut down." So
Hmm.
it's like, man, it sucks because that was such a fun and great experience. Like, it almost got me really back into WoW. Like, I was like, man, do I have to get an actual fucking WoW
Hmm.
subscription to play again? And obviously
I
that
was
didn't
in the
want
same
me.
spot actually, but here we are. Like, it's it's the problem is like they're taking from Blizzard. Like, you have to for a moment go, yeah, I get it. Like, they're doing better than Blizzard because they're doing things Blizzard won't do, and people are like, this is sick. Like, changing up the whole game mentality.
Yeah,
So they're doing things that are really good for people, and Blizzard is like, hey, we don't want to have to do that because it'll take away from our retail, and we'll have to put more developers here, and we'll make less money.
yeah, it was crazy. I would hate to see it go, but at this point, there'll be another one. I hate to say it just like that, but yeah, man. Let's go ahead and move on though to our last topic of the industry news here. What's going on here with the Stop Killing Games campaign?
So the U.S. and EU setbacks inspire a new bill, actually, in the Brazilian legislature. So it turns out that a Brazilian politician saw the Stop Killing Games and was like, "Hey, this is a great cause," and they decided that they were going to try to revive this and for consumer good, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean this is huge for gaming, honestly. Like it's going to be so critically important to how the future of the games industry will go. Obviously this wasn't something necessarily as important back then because like when games were
Hmm.
made and they were always playable no matter what. But when they could just
Hmm.
go game doesn't exist anymore, that's it. Because every game
Yeah,
requires an
and
online connection and it's total bullshit. Like you should be able to play every single game offline, obviously outside of like multiplayer only games. That makes sense.
mhm,
So like Titanfall 1, for example, like that would have to be continuously played online, but like if you're looking at any other like single player game or anything like that, why does it require an internet connection? You should allow me to play
mhm.
it offline. Yeah. Don't get it. This is something that it's like a no-brainer. But then you got people that are making these laws have no idea about the games industry. They have no clue. They don't even know how the internet works half the time.
Well, it comes back to the age old thing where it's like, well, who is telling these lawmakers about the games industry? It's the games industry. So it's essentially self regulation, which is really bad,
Right.
really bad.
Unfortunately. All right, man. That's all the industry news we got this week. So let's get on to the bigger and badder news of the past few weeks. So I don't know if you're ready, Roger. Just under Xbox alone, I have 18 main points to get to.
Oh, I saw.
PlayStation has half with 10, which are just as bad.
Hmm.
So I mean, let's just go run through it, man. Point number one from Xbox. It is claimed that Xbox has paused their third-party Game Pass deals. When this news broke, I'm like, great, because like honestly, that's what was carrying Game Pass since the beginning. because their pipeline of
Mm-hmm.
first party games has been such a struggle to keep up. That was what was keeping people subscribed to their subscription. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't make any more deals, you're going to have a lot less third party games. Now you really have to bank on your first party supply run, which looks
Mm-hmm.
fantastic if they don't keep canceling games. But if they keep canceling games and they only have like 3 games, and you're going to come right back to 2021 where you have no games.
Wait. But then you say don't cancel games, but then I see a bunch of things on here that just don't really sound
I
good.
know, it just gets worse.
So
It
what's
just
number
gets worse.
two?
So they decided to cancel their publishing deal for Project Fantasy. This was the next game coming out at IOI. The guys that made the recently critically acclaimed 007 First Light, and they were like, we don't want no parts with that. Even though that might succeed and do extremely well, we don't want no parts in it anymore.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Really terrible
Thanks, coach.
decision, but they're just cutting cost at every aspect, every level, and just trying to refocus. They are really, really resetting the entire company to a T,
Well, and
which is
it's
good
it's
and
just
bad things.
because it's because their new CEO
Mhm.
is just yep.
But good thing is, at least IOI is going to self-publish the game, so like this game isn't going to be
Mhm.
canceled. At least as of right now, isn't going to be canceled. This should see the light of day, no pun intended. But yeah, IOI has always put out some great games, and a lot of their games have been usually in talks for Game of the Year. Whether it was
Mhm.
Hitman 3 from a couple years ago, I think First Light has a really good shot at being in that top 6 for Game of the Year at the end at the end here. So I mean, be pretty awesome to see what they do with Project Fantasy. So next topic. This is just a rumor. I'm kind of on board with this one. This is actually could be good news. In a way, just hear me out. So Xbox
Okay, I'm
plans to
listening.
put Halo under the Activision Blizzard, and apparently the reason for it is because they see how Activision Blizzard can constantly put out Call of Duty year after year after year after year. Hence, we know how bad Call of Duty has been recently, but we have seen the success with Call of Duty. Why I think it's a good thing is because what was the problem with Halo? Not enough content at enough pace where they couldn't continue to put content out, so they could never keep up with the demand for Halo. So if you put like a developer that makes content year round all the time at a fast pace, like Call of Duty got, they put out the main game and then they have seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like right after the game. Like they have a stacked lineup from the time the game launched until the next game comes out. If you imagine you doing that with the next big Halo title, that's going to be crucial because when we look back at Halo Infinite was a fantastic game. Campaign was a lot of fun, multiplayer was fantastic, but after the first month or so, it's like, what do I do now?
Mhm.
You had nothing to do, and then like you were on to bigger and better things. That doesn't happen in Call of Duty. The 1 month goes by, and guess what? You're already playing season one. New contents come out, new things to do, new events, new seasonal stuff. Like there's a slew of content. So you imagine if Halo Infinite could get that kind of treatment, that could be great. It's just as long as they don't fuck it up, like in a way. Like if they put Halo Studios under Activision Blizzard, so it's more of like a management and more of like a direct path of like they understand. Okay, we have to have this urgency to put out content and develop a good game. I think it could work. It's just looking at Black Ops 6 and 7 the last 2 years, it's been pretty rough. So I mean, what's your thoughts? Like, do you think this could be a good thing for Halo, or is this like gonna just kill it even worse?
I am the mindset that I don't think it'll help. I think Halo's been dead for a while and it's just being dragged along where it could have been a lot better if we had something a lot sooner.
Yep, I'm
I
with you.
just think I think people have kind of lost the drive to play Halo.
Yeah.
Like it's just not there anymore.
No, yeah, I definitely get it. It sucks because like Halo was the flagship for Xbox. I don't think it
Hmm.
is the flagship anymore. I think it's
Well,
Gears
Halo
of
doesn't.
War and Forza. Those are your two primary pillars that have carried the Xbox for
I
like
don't think
name in a
I
while.
don't even think they want to make games anymore. Is the thing. I think that's the thing. I
What
think
do
they
they
don't
want
want to
to
make
do?
games. Yeah, I think Microsoft at this point wants to make passive income, not active income.
Right. Which we're
They
going to
don't
talk
want to have to
on
make stuff.
how they've had tons of passive income that's been carrying the franchise or the whole studio
Mm-hmm.
or the whole company in general. But that's later on down the road. Number 4, Xbox announced 3,200 layoffs, and a time that they announced it, 1,600 of those happened the same day. And also 4 studios are leaving the Xbox umbrella. So I'm going to get the article up so I can kind of break it down a little bit more. So we're looking at first up the Compulsion Games, the developer, and most recently South of Midnight, a phenomenal fucking game. They're being returned to management and they're transitioning to an independent studio, just as is Double Fine. Double Fine was another independent studio bought up and now going back to independent studio, being an independent studio. Have been a huge success with, especially like Psychonauts 2, being a phenomenal game, like 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 game. Like we've had some 2 big hitters. I would say they just for some reason just didn't catch on for the overall audience because I don't think they market the games as good here nor there. But those 2 are going to become independent. Meanwhile, Hellblade's developer Ninja Theory and State of Decay's developer Undead Labs are going to be owned by a new entity, which we don't know yet. But Microsoft will continue to fund and completely grow Senua and State of Decay 3. So the games will eventually be released and will be published by Xbox, but that will be the last anything connection with them. And then they'll be under their new ownership, I guess, per se. And then there's a 5th one here. So you're looking at Arcane Studio, which is they're working on Marvel's Blade. This one is now seeing its management enter a required consultation with its work council. This is per the French labor laws that kind of protect them in a way. But it says the viewed a potential selling or spinning out the studio. So they're either going to get bought up by another company or go independent. So that's 5 major studios that are getting just see you later, adding to the long list. Elsewhere, like the rest of the company was also hit with major layoffs as well, which we're going to kind of talk about a little bit more on that here as we kind of get through the points. Which moving right on into point number 5, Bethesda has been completely overhauled. They're basically only focusing now on key franchises, and that being Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein. I'm very confused on the whole Quake part because we haven't seen anything where really Quake related in since like early 2000s. Honestly, other than like the remakes or the ports being brought over. Um, but I mean, like, yeah, that's great and all, but we haven't seen a new Fallout game long time. Elder Scrolls, it's been a long time. Obviously, we know
I
that.
did just hear though that Fallout New Vegas, supposedly there is a sequel in the works. I just saw an article right before the show about it.
Yeah, it's on here. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually on here.
so
Who's going to be doing it as well? But
mhm.
yeah. So that was part of the the restructuring. I'm going to say. Um, so yeah, that was that part, and then let's see what else other stuff we got. What's point number 6 here? Um, Nothing to really to do with the layoffs part, but Asha wants their games to cater to around more than 1 billion people per day. That's just another outlandish fucking milestone or goal that
Yeah.
they want to achieve. Like Steam doesn't even
Hmm.
get really 1 billion users in a day. Like that is just I don't know where they be coming up with some of these numbers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't. So far, I don't know about her. Like, I'm not sure what her whole shtick is. It just feels,
Right. It's like some of the decisions I've seen, it's like
yeah.
fantastic, great, but then you're seeing some stuff you're like, is she making this
What the fuck
decision
are you doing?
or is she being like told to make this decision? Like it
Yeah,
almost
it's
seems
just.
like a Satya Nutella kind of like decision. Like you need to make sure you have 1 billion users, and he just doesn't understand the games industry. Like that's not how that works.
Mhm.
Like not at all.
Yep.
Like they don't even have 1 billion people that have Game Pass. Like those numbers just came out. They're only at 30 million, which missed their
Hmm.
goal of like they're supposed to be at 77 million according to their goal. They're not even halfway to their goal yet. Yeah, so that was number 6. Number 7, half of id Software was laid off. So that was a pretty big blow because like again, this is another developer that has like pretty much never missed. like Doom 2016, phenomenal game. Doom Eternal, phenomenal game. Doom the Dark Ages, phenomenal game. And it's just like, you know what? You know what you get for succeeding and doing well? All half your studio's gone. But good news
Goodbye.
is, like they said that the size of the studio that they are at now is actually the same size studio they were when they made Doom 2016. So like that's
Hmm.
reassuring in a sense that they are more than capable of producing a great game with a smaller studio. So it almost seems like did they overinflate themselves when they were trying to do it? But then it also seems like they're well, let me see here. I have another point from them. id Software was pitching, this is point number 12, so I skipped a few here. id Software was pitching various projects including a new Perfect Dark reboot, a John Wick style original game code named Fury, and a co-op Doom game before all these cuts happened. So I was like, that would make more sense. Like if they had that massive studio, they could have the primary being like focusing on the next entry of Doom, but then they can have like do
Hmm.
side projects, how like Obsidian Games does all these other side projects. So it makes sense, and they do really well, and they have a really great engine being the id Tech. Like it's one of the best engines in gaming. So it's like, yeah, why not? But like, and then they were like, nah, fuck your ideas. We're just gonna cut your studio in half, and now you can only focus on one game. Actually, be cool to play a co-op Doom game, especially coming off of Abyssius. Like that gave us the closest thing that we would ever have to a co-op Doom game.
Well, no, we have Serious Sam.
That, sure, that's fair in a sense. But
Yeah.
next up, Obsidian was hit with a 25% layoff. So a quarter of their team has been axed. So that's about 60 to 70 people. And it says that a lot of the team that is left are really concerned because like they have a plethora of games that they have to support in a way. Like they have Grounded to still worry about. They have Outer Worlds 2 to worry about. They have any content and stability updates, whatever they want to do with Avowed still, and then like all their smaller projects like Pentiment and whatnot, if they have to put out any like security or quick fixes, hot fixes, stuff like that. So it's like, how did you just axe a team because for no reason? Because this has been one of your most consistent studios. It's like, oh, we can release 3 games in a year. What other studio in your portfolio can do that? There's maybe one, and that's a maybe being Playground Games because they almost released Forza Horizon 6 and Fable in the same year. But it's like, yeah, I don't get it. That's one studio I think I would have completely left alone, but clearly not. And the thing is, like, they're adding to their workload in a way because what you were alluding to, Obsidian canceled their Avowed sequel that they were working on, and they were now tasked with their new Fallout game. And this one's being helmed by New Vegas director Josh Sawyer, so like that's good news to get him back in the saddle. But it's like you could have had Avowed 2 and Fallout New Vegas 2 both in the
Hmm.
works and would have been a great fucking lineup for them to come out. But nope, you axed their studio. Now they can't do that. So it's like, what the fuck? So that made absolutely no sense. And then moving on to number 10. This is one I was kind of alluding to earlier. Xbox has been using profits and revenue from Minecraft to fund the rest of the Xbox business. That is just how big Minecraft is. And speaking of passive income, because that takes them like no effort to do, really. They basically
Yep.
sell and make money from all those mods and content packs that they probably don't even do mostly themselves. They just make sure it
And
works.
that's what they're looking for. They're looking for this they're looking for all their games to be that successful, and they don't understand gaming. They don't understand gamers. All they see is numbers on a spreadsheet, and they're like, this one can do it, why can't everyone else?
Yeah,
Which is insane.
I don't know what numbers they'd be looking at half the time. So yeah, that one was crazy. Moving on to point number 11, Bethesda's union is calling on fans to voice their opinions to Xbox through their player voice feedback program. So that was that new program that Xbox launched once
Hmm.
Asha Sharma took over. And they have been listening really well from that new program. Like a lot of updates or features that the community were looking for got added within like a
Hmm.
week or two of them people asking for it. So like it is a platform that they clearly monitor. So it's like
Yeah.
if you do want to voice your opinion, that'd be one way of doing so, and seeing if that they do listen. But it's like, what are you ultimately going to say? That's going to make a impact on that sort of business. part of the business, I say, because like
Mhm.
what the information that we're privy to is obviously not the whole picture as well. Like
Mhm.
maybe a lot of these cuts of 3,200 people was necessary and it makes sense, but it sucks because then you look at the people aspect of it. You're like, that's 3,200 people that just lost a job, and that really fucking sucks. In an overly
Mhm.
saturated market, yeah, you can kind of go find a new job, maybe, but it
The
all
gaming industry, once you lose a job there, it's going to be hard to find a new job unless you were like up at the top.
yeah, it's a really tough gig right now, honestly. Especially with constant layoffs, more than just Xbox, which we're going to talk about another company that's laying off people a little bit later. But it's just like it's such a, like there is no job security. You can have game of the year and still get laid off in the next month, so it just doesn't matter.
Which happened.
Right? Absolutely insanity. So we already talked about point number 12. So let's talk about point number 13. This one is kind of like a I told you so moment to Xbox because Black Ops 6 apparently lost $300 million in revenue on Xbox and PC due to how many players opted to play it on Game Pass instead of buying the game. Like, no fucking shit.
But like they're not going to tell you how much revenue they made though from like all the additional like cash shop purchases that were made by those players that didn't buy the game.
Right. Because overall the game still made money. Like, it just didn't make enough money.
And what's crazy is a lot of these people would have had Game Pass all year round, which would have been more than the price of Call of Duty.
Right. Yeah, because if
So like it just
even if someone wanted to play Black Ops 7 for an entire year, you just take fucking, let's just say, because it had to been on the highest tier at $31 times 12. I mean, that's that's insane. Like, how did you?
Mhm.
Yeah, you look at it from that perspective. It's like, how did you lose money? You should have made money by that.
Yeah. It's they didn't make it on that part of the spreadsheet and they're like, "Oh no, you can't count over here on the spreadsheet." And you go,
Right.
"Why not?" "Oh, because we don't want you to."
But
That
and the other
that's
take,
the
it's like
reason.
it makes me wonder how many people that got it through Game Pass only played it for like a month or two and then unsubscribed because they're like, this game's a hot piece of garbage. Because we know how bad Black Ops
Yeah.
6 was. It was a god
Mhm.
awful game. Black Ops 7 did way better, and that game has got shitten on by an unreal amount of people because I don't know why. Because Black Ops 7 to me has been the greatest fucking Call of Duty in the entire since Call of Duty Ghost, in my opinion, because it listened to it did everything right. They listened to the community. You asked for it, they gave it to you. You wanted the old time feel. They added a playlist where it felt exactly like the old time Call of Duty. You wanted open matchmaking where it's not based on how good you are. Here you go. Like, they did everything the community asked for, and it still got shat on. And it's like, like people are just over Call of Duty at this point. Like they have to do something to win people back in a way. It's going to take a lot because clearly they listened to everything that the community asked for, and it still wasn't enough. But yeah, circling back to the topic on hand, Black Ops 6 apparently lost a ton of money. I'd be curious to see the whole spreadsheet and not just the little square in the bottom left corner that they looked at, and not the whole thing. They forgot about all the other columns. But yeah, next point, bringing a little bit of political stuff into it. Bernie Sanders has apparently been ripping Microsoft for cutting staff at a time when the company is making massive profits. And I wanted to point out,
Mhm.
like, this is just another big corporation just not giving a fuck. They're not making enough. Like, yeah, they had record breaking profits. They're like the third biggest company in the entire world or whatever. They're top five. I don't know where they sit at right now, but like
Mhm.
they made a shit ton of money. But all the top 1% of
Not
the
enough
company
money.
got all the raises,
Yeah.
but everyone else is like, oh damn, we gave all our money to all our big people. We can't
Thank
afford
you
you.
for
See you
all your
later.
hard work. You are now unemployed.
Yep. So I get it, and
While
Bernie's
we're
always
also
for the people.
slashing unemployment too.
But I always feel like Bernie has always been for the people. Like, I feel like a lot of his points has always been like, we need to worry about the little people instead of
Mhm.
worrying about the top. Like, I don't know. I've always saw him as that kind of person, and so I just wanted to highlight like even he like this the games industry with laying off is impacting even like Bernie Sanders, who probably doesn't know much about gaming, but obviously he knows about business. And it's like you're making a shit ton of money. How did you lay off 3,200 people? Like one
Hmm.
plus one is equals two, but to you it apparently doesn't. Moving on. So the layoffs are apparently affecting Elder Scrolls 6. The game could face delays. So it kind of expected in a way, but like this game was announced back in 2018. So it's been 8 years
Hmm.
since it was announced. We haven't had a new Elder Scrolls since I don't know what year it came out, but a long time because they keep like remastering it and reprinting it for the next generation. So it's been a while since we had a new one. So yeah, it sucks, but it's all part of the business, I guess. Like that's a no brainer. Like yeah, obviously you have less people, it slows down production
We're gonna fire some people. Why aren't you finished yet?
because it it takes 500 people and now we only have 250.
Hmm. Well, just use AI. That's the other thing. All these people got laid off because of AI. Let's be real.
More than likely.
Microsoft is like, oh, we spent all this money on AI, now we got to use it, and they're like,
And now they're
people,
telling people not
make
to
your
use
games with the
AI. They're like,
yeah,
don't use it.
and
It
they're,
costs us too much money. What?
yeah, but they're like, use AI though because we need you to be more productive. Why aren't you using AI? And then the game industry people are like, hey man, I don't want to play a game with AI.
Right.
Like right now,
People
if you
get pissed off that there's like a
Steam,
little
for example.
yeah, anything that there's like a little piece of like a picture frame on the wall that was made with AI. The games industry like
Mhm.
loses their mind. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Moving on, Activision Blizzard has removed the live player count in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, the most recent ports that they brought over to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, which was really weird to begin with. We never even got to talk about that even happening because we've been gone for a little while. But yeah, like all of the Call of Duties back then used to show you like in the bottom corner how many people were online playing the game. Doesn't exist
Mhm.
in these ports for some reason, but it is the number one selling game on the PlayStation right now, which is funny. Black Ops 1 and 2. It's the number one
Always
and number 2 selling game.
like it, and it makes sense. It always has been. Like it's what kept PlayStation going.
Yeah, it's just it's funny though. Like those games are so fucking old, and I don't know. There's like more people playing that than Warzone and Black Ops 7 combined right now, or something like that. Yeah, but it's so funny, like watching the top 100 players in the world in Call of Duty go back to play this game, and they realize that they're really not fucking good at Call of Duty because they've been struggling with the game. They're like, "Oh, this game's so bad. Like the guns suck. I can't aim. The aim assist isn't strong enough." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's because you actually had to be good at Call of Duty back then. Like now, like aim assist is like, oh, you point, it just automatically fucking follows the person, and you can just hold the trigger, and that was that. Like Call of
Yep.
Duty was actually hard back then. Surprise, took a little bit of fucking skill. Ay ay ay. Point number 17. More union stuff. Bethesda union workers plan to protest next week, which I think when I found this article was last week, so it should be this week that we're in now. But it says we need to show management that we mean business, and so they will properly take care of our coworkers and think twice before ever attempting something like this again. Seems like some pretty serious shit, if you ask me.
Hmm.
And good thing, like at this point, it's like almost like every game developer needs to have a union because I feel like that would protect from a lot of these layoffs from just happening just for the blink with no care in the world. Because I feel like when a union is involved, they're like a lot less tempted to even mess with that kind of stuff because like there's way too much
Hmm.
legality issues that can happen. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, and it's why they don't want people to unionize is because
they lose control.
oh, we can't just like fire you all right now. Well, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does for good reason.
right. All right. So last point: Xbox CEO Asha Sharma is now an official advisor for the United States Federal Reserve. I almost want to say this. This is like seems like a conflict of interest, but I may not know enough in how that any of that really works. But I don't know how you can be a CEO of a company that like can affect money in a sense.
Hmm.
Like when you're borrowing money, like if Microsoft needed to borrow money from the Federal Reserve, like she would be dictating the rates on that kind of stuff. Like, am I like wrong in that sense? Obviously, it's not directly her
She's
making this.
advising them. Yeah, she's advising them on economic standings and policies. I don't know if I like the idea of her doing that.
But then it also takes
Like, it
like her
just doesn't
attention
seem right.
away from Xbox. Like you're supposed to be all in on the Xbox brand, resetting it, getting it back on track, doing all the right things. But like, how can you do that job, but then also go do another really big
Hmm.
important job? Like I don't know. You're spreading yourself a little too thin, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, those are the 18 points from the Xbox news this week. But just two quick updates for some of their games. Warcraft. This is their potential leak that you threw into the chat for Warcraft. So it says a
Hmm.
once diminished Warcraft leak may have just revealed Blizzard's huge plans for the franchise. You want to tell us a little bit about this one?
Um, yeah, so there was a huge leak a while back in August of 2025 where there's a timeline for the entire WoW related releases up to 2030 supposedly listed in this leak, as well as the next several expansions and two unannounced games and two television shows for this. There's a thing called Camelot, which was it was Project Camelot, which is related to classic WoW. So it just seems that there may be a re-release of classic WoW or vanilla WoW with some other stuff, but BlizzCon is coming up, I believe. So it's just it potentially is in September this year is BlizzCon.
Yep.
So in BlizzCon we may find that if what we think is true, we may be seeing a lot of a lot of releases coming out of Activision Blizzard related to World of Warcraft and the Warcraft series as a whole. So it's just interesting because may have an idea post you know post BlizzCon what the future of WoW will look like.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. It's funny reading a part of the article here, and it was like, as Blizzard leadership has somewhat infamously said, it historically cancels 50% of its projects before they see the light of day.
Hmm.
Like that's a lot of fucking ideas that are just like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
You'd just be wondering, like, man, I wonder if some of those ideas were really fucking good and just never gonna
Hmm.
never know about it.
They didn't make 14% ROI, so we had to cancel it.
Yeah, it only made 13.
Yeah. Oh well.
So, Modern Warfare 4, right? So apparently one of the advertisements for the game, which I've actually personally saw myself, um, that they're using the part where it says not on Xbox Game Pass as a selling point for the game. Like that's a very terrible way of trying to say come buy my game because you're not gonna be able to get it on Game Pass.
Buy my game because we don't want you to fucking get it for our subscription model. Don't buy our subscription model if this is the only game you want to buy.
I mean, it's almost
Okay.
like a subscription model if you think about it. It's a yearly subscription model.
Yeah, yeah, $70 a year.
Yeah. But what a terrible, like, there's way more things that you could talk about your game. Like, give me reasons to buy the game, not because it's on Game Pass.
Hmm.
Like, okay, like Call of Duty's been on Game Pass for what, 2 years? Okay, whatever. Back to the normal shit. And but like now you're making matters worse. So you're telling me like, so if you release a bad game and I have to buy the game, guess who's not buying the game? As opposed to Game Pass, like if it's a bad game, let me find out if it's a bad game myself, and then I'll
Yeah.
either play it or not play it, and kind of go from there.
Some people complained I'm definitely not getting this Call of Duty kind of moment.
Right. So yeah,
I don't know. Just it's doesn't doesn't rub me right, coach.
yeah, not at all. What a terrible marketing. Like Call of Duty has always been known for like really good marketing. This was not a really good marketing tactic. So hopefully they do better. Which we're supposed to be seeing some multiplayer gameplay. I think this coming weekend. I think it is, or it's at Fanatic Fest. So we'll be able to see some of that coming up. So maybe that stirs the pot and does good. If not, could be another bad year for Call of Duty. But Roger, let's get to the other industry rattling news.
Okay, so let's just talk about PlayStation and like first of all, Microsoft's like, let's lay off a ton of our staff. PlayStation's like, what if we just tell everyone we're going to stop printing discs with games on it? So by 2028 and onward, PlayStation will no longer make physical discs for their games. You can still get a physical disc for the game if you're a developer and your game launches before the year 2028 begins. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, which is what we alluded to earlier when we said that like the stop killing games thing. This is part of that, is the okay, like what happens when you cancel your digital store? Like immediately after talking about the PlayStation not being able to have physical game discs 2028 and onward, they're canceling the PS Store on the PS3 and Vita. So like if you want to go back and play those old games, fuck you. If
Yeah.
you bought it digitally, fuck you and everything about you. So like PlayStation literally is making a bad news bears decision right here. And they've updated their end user agreement and added a section stating that they can close your account if you don't use it in 36 months. That means if you bought the game digitally and then you don't play on your console for 3 years and you try to go back to your game, you may not have anything anymore. I'm talking hundreds, thousands, however much money you spent, blow it out your ass. You didn't own it,
So I'm gonna put
which
it
is bullshit.
into a very logical and reasonable example. What about military service members that have to go on tour for 4 years and they come back from their service, right? And they want to go back to playing their game
They
when they're
just didn't
stateside,
bring it with them or something.
right? Because they're busy serving our country, and now they can't play. They can't even log into their account because their account doesn't exist anymore. But they bought all those
Mhm.
games digitally, and guess who has no access to them anymore? That
Yeah, because you
service.
couldn't get those games on the console, or you can't get them on physical disc. So it's honestly, I'm hoping we see a big resistance to this, and Sony changes course again and runs with their
It's just
their tail tucked between their legs. But I don't know, man.
it's just really crazy to me because like there was a tweet that I saw and they were talking about they were like music, right? Music is digitally, but you can still go out there and buy CDs and vinyls. Like you can still buy
Hmm.
records, right? So you would have thought music would have been like one of the first parts of entertainment
But
when
like,
went all digital and got rid of all physical media. That didn't happen.
think about
Movies.
think about all of those vinyl records that are out there that you can never find digitally ever because they never were made digital. Think
Yeah,
about that. Like
yeah,
all those things, all those small little like
yeah.
uh,
The small
it's
time
crazy
bands
to
that
me.
just like made their own vinyl record or something like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
it is pretty crazy. And then the other part, they were talking about movies. Like movies are primarily consumed through like streaming platforms, but you can still buy physical DVDs, Blu-rays, 4K, whatever it is, wherever you want. No problem.
Hmm.
Books. Books you can easily read on a Kindle, an iPad, your phone, anything.
If I
But you
bought
could
a physical book, I own it.
but you could still go to the store and buy a physical book. Why in the grand scheme of things are we going why is video games got to be the first fucking part of entertainment where it has to go all digital? Fuck your physical. And it's a greedy
It's
aspect. I know the reasoning behind it. It's
yeah.
very fucking greedy. It's
Hmm.
because PlayStation now gets 100% of the profit of every game sold,
Hmm.
which is bullshit. And then like now you no longer can buy used copies of games, which are usually like half the price, if not way cheaper than brand new copies of games. You can't
Yep.
lend games out to your friend that wants to play the game that you no longer are
Hmm.
playing right now. Like there's just so many reasons why this is a bad thing. But if you look from it from a business corporate perspective, you're like, we're gonna make more money.
This is a no-brainer, dude. It's a no fucking brainer if you're a business person. You're like, "Oh shit, dude, I can make more for less.
Yeah,
Sign
that's
me up."
disgusting. What's up with point number 4 out of 10?
There's been an uptick in PS5 owners jailbreaking their systems now after the physical release debacle. So now people are just like, fuck you, I'm gonna jailbreak my console instead. And then Halo Studios is promoting the Fizzle discs as featuring and selling point for Halo Campaign Evolved for Xbox and PS5. What a crazy thing to do. What a absolutely criminal thing for Microsoft to do in the back. Is just like, why do you suck so much? Ignore the fact we fired 3,600 people.
Yeah. But no, it's just like a funny gimmick. It's like, hey, we're going to use this now as a selling point. You can buy our physical disc for your PlayStation of our Xbox game.
It's crazy they did that. And then they were like, all right, see if we can sneak in 3,600 layoffs. What do you mean we can't sneak them in?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fucking funny, actually.
And Rockstar reportedly told Sony to remove GTA 6 branding from their PlayStation app, which is...
Bro, this was weird. I thought I was losing my mind because, like, I have the PlayStation app on my phone. And this happened like the day maybe after GTA 6 like went live for pre-orders. I'm gonna show it up here on screen. And this was what the PlayStation app looked like. On like the one on the right. So it had the GTA 6 vibes. Like, you know, it looks very GTA 6. And then this whole debacle with the whole like physical disc media and Rockstar was like, you know, we don't want to associate with you right now.
You've made a mistake. Please
go back to
get my name out your fucking mouth.
All right, go back to your regular icon look, and it like switched like immediately, and I'm like, okay, it wasn't going.
That's crazy.
Like, this was a real thing.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, I don't know, man. The industry is self-immolating. It feels like.
Yeah. So
it really is.
So I dropped this article in here. It's not really an article. It's more of like a tweet of someone ranting about like reasons why digital only gaming is bad. If your account gets hacked, lost, or suspended, you lose all of those games that you paid for. It's not like if you have all of those games physically and something happens to your account, you can just create a new account and still play the games. If PlayStation Network is down, which we know happens way too often,
a lot,
you can therefore not play your games. If you change your region, this is actually pretty crazy. I actually forgot that this was a thing. So because like on Xbox, right, at midnight launch, at midnight release for games, right, on Xbox, you can actually go in there and change your region to New Zealand, and then you can play the game like at earlier in the day, right, whatever time, whenever it becomes midnight in New Zealand, you can play the game in here in the United States, and it doesn't do anything. You can change it back, no problems. It doesn't have no problems. PlayStation, if you actually change your region in their terms, you actually need to create a whole new account because there has never been an account in that region with at all. So it's like, nope, you have to create a whole new one, and it like completely like erases everything. You're like, oh shit, can't do that. And again, it alludes back to if you don't use your account in 36 months, we already talked about that. And then if you're not connected to the internet, you actually cannot access your games that you paid for either. And then also if a digital license expires or any falling out occurs between the digital storefront and the game studio publisher, you will also lose access. Hence, they use this as an example. They're removing 500 movies from their PlayStation catalog or wherever you can buy those, like the Sony catalog. And if you purchase those movies, you're not being compensated at all. You're just losing access to 500 movies, which could happen in theory to your games. And I'm like,
and like this whole thing is so crazy. The PlayStation post about the end of physical discs has more views than the GTA 6 cover art reveal. How do you know you fucked up? Everyone looked at your shit more than one of the most anticipated game in human history.
Yep. And said, yeah, this is more important than that. And yeah, it's just it's really fucking mind blowing. When I saw that stat, I'm like, that's crazy because that's a lot of people that watch or look at that tweet about the new reveal, the cover art, and you had more than that. Yeah, that's bad.
You done goofed, Chief. You've goofed. Right? You've goofed, Chief.
It's like they would actually, when they made that post on Twitter about discontinuing physical discs, for games.
Mhm.
They didn't post for like a week or 5 days, I think it was. But then their next post had nothing to do with like anything at hand. Like they weren't listening to the community at all. They were just talking about like
Mhm.
some new game that's coming out and like releasing. And the games industry had a fucking field day. They were just posting the elephant meme underneath in the comments. Like, yeah, you got to talk about the elephant in the room, and they're just completely avoiding the entire conversation. But apparently, there was a leaked conversation with some of the executives in Sony. These are all allegedly, and they're like, we don't care about anybody that buys our games. They were like, the 10% people that are going to cancel their subscription isn't a big enough impact on our business at all. Like we make more than enough money and we don't really care. And I'm just like,
Yes. So long,
wow.
farewell. Don't let the door hit you on the way out is the mentality they have.
Because they apparently acknowledged the whole like no disc, no buy movement that's going on right now. And they were like, yeah, we don't care about that movement at all. And I'm just like,
They were just sort of like, good luck, have
wow.
fun, go somewhere else. Goodbye.
Like it's really going to take like pretty much everybody on board to just say, fuck you, Sony. We don't want to have nothing to do with you and just move on. And
Mhm.
Sony would just plummet and just it cease to exist. But again, it's going to be one
The
of those
thing
next
is,
to
like,
impossible.
I'm not gonna buy any physical games from them because, or like, I'm not gonna buy anything from them because I don't buy digital games on consoles. I only do it on Steam because that's the only way to buy games on the computer half the time.
Right. I always thought
Yeah,
buying
it
physical
sucks,
games
and
for
it's like,
computer were always weird. I don't know why it was always weird buying games physical, but I know like it was a thing.
mhm.
But I don't know. I definitely don't remember it as like much of a because wasn't it like when you bought the game like it only worked for that PC? Then it was like a you had like a digital key code license.
Hmm. No, no.
You could keep playing it. And,
You have a physical key code. It just you can only use it on like that game, but then you can still reuse it somewhere else.
yeah, I figured there was something that was weird because like you think about it, like Blockbuster. I don't remember Blockbuster really renting out PC games
Hmm.
like per se. Like just for that
Well, yeah,
incentive.
once you had the key code, like certain games would have an issue, yes, but not all.
Yeah. So yeah, very unsettling over the last few weeks in regards to that. But we're not done here with
Hmm.
the PlayStation news. What's going on, man? With point number where are we at 9?
So, Infamous 2 UGC missions by end of this month will be sunset, meaning the game's platinum trophy is no longer obtainable. So, like, if you
Why?
wanted to like
Just
yeah, like
just
why?
take out those trophies from the fucking list of trophies then at that point to allow the platinum trophy to still happen.
Yeah, and then just give the people, hey, you got this. Here's a special like a special tier of trophy.
Right. Make it yeah.
It's I don't get it. I just like every time. So for example, I work for the state, so when we do anything, we have to think about like our constituents. We have to think about the people who live within the state, and like we have to think about what's best for them, like the people we serve, the people that make sure that we have a job. They're just like, what if we don't? Like, what if we just don't care about them?
Because they don't clearly.
And it's mind-boggling to me.
Yep. Last point.
All right. So last one, Sony is banning people from mentioning the disc issue on their PlayStation streams. So like if you jump into their stream where they're talking about new games and stuff, they're just like, "Oh, that's cute," banned.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that shit's crazy. Like someone was recording it like
that
live, like they were on
that's
Twitch, like PlayStation was
childish.
playing something on Twitch, and someone was talking about it banned instantly. I'm like, holy fuck! Like they really don't care, and they don't want to hear it.
They're like, "Hey, we made this decision. Fuck you and fuck everything about you." And people are like, "Hey, what about this decision?" They're like, "Ah, it's crazy. I can't hear you anymore over the sound of you not existing."
It's like, I think I'm losing you.
I'm going through a tunnel. Why'd I get banned? Fuck you. That's why. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't get it. It's just every day we sit here and we deal with it. And I'm just like, I'm just glad I just sit here and play on the computer half the time.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's
You don't
not a
have an
good
allegiance.
answer, but it's like it just feels like the better answer at this point.
Right. The PC market is like the lesser of all evils right now. I mean, I guess outside of Nintendo, I feel like Nintendo's hitting on all cylinders, doing really well. They're, you know,
They care about their consumers for the most part, but they
and
are
their
very
developers too.
litigious.
Because a few weeks back, which we didn't get to cover, like they just got another pay raise. Like instead of laying people
Mhm.
off, they actually paid more money to their developers. So it's like,
They're like, "Hey, good success, you get some too." That's how a good company should be. Like, that's how companies used to be, and they were like, "But the bottom line, coach."
yeah, we didn't hit our 15% mark. We hit 14. So you know we got to cut you guys.
Sorry, guys. Bye.
So yeah, man, let's talk about this last point with PlayStation because I actually have a side note for it as well.
Okay, so PS monthly free games here. We've got Modern Warfare 3, For the King 2, and Crosscode. Like, not really, not really awesome.
No, not at all. But point I'm making is look right below the image. These are
Hmm.
community notes. And it says digital purchases are licenses, not ownership. Sony can revoke access. This raises concerns about long-term ownership, game preservation, resale, lending, and reliance on service stores. The software is licensed to you, not sold to you. This is just like basically every single post that PlayStation has made, they have been getting
Hmm.
community noted, and then they put in a request to Twitter or X to have the community note removed. But then, like 5 minutes later goes by, a new one is already added back, and it's been like a back and forth, like nonstop. And I just been fucking losing it. I'm like, bro, like they don't want to talk about it. They don't want people to talk about it, but like they have no fucking choice.
We keep doing this stepping on rake thing. Why do you talk about us stepping on the rake? I don't know, coach. Why do you think?
You keep doing it.
I like if I kept punching myself in the nuts for views, and got a million views, and then I wonder why people want to see me punch myself in the nuts and complain when I don't. Like, when you step on rakes and then you're like, why do people keep saying we keep stepping on rakes? I don't know what to tell you, coach. I think you're just dumb as shit.
Or that's the definition of insanity. Because they keep stepping on the rake
Yeah.
expecting a different result, but they keep getting smacked in the fucking face.
Yeah, it's
That's
all right. Let's move on to Nintendo, if that's okay with you, sir.
Yeah, man. Let's go for it.
All right. So, talking about end of lifing digital games, Mario Kart Tour will be shut down on September 30th, 2026. It's Mario Kart is going off the rails, somebody says, and Lucky 2 won't be there to save you this time. A 7-year-old mobile game will be going away, and unlike Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, the company doesn't plan to introduce an offline version, so this is gone.
Which is crazy. Like, you can clearly play this game by yourself.
Hmm.
Just make an offline mode. It doesn't have to be connected to the internet.
But on the flip side, they want you to play Mario Kart World, where they've added a surprise update and added two new, I think two or more, knockout tour routes, which is cool. That's awesome. Like, I'm surprised it's taken this long to get any updates really to the game.
All right, this was update 1.7. Yeah, they added Drill Rally and Boomerang Rally. Oh, that's good.
And when you're using photo mode, you can now add stickers, raise the
Ooh.
acceleration performance of characters and vehicles that had low acceleration. Gliding speed has been raised, made it so players can hop right away after being hit by Comics Magic or Bullet Bill. They've done some like actual balance changes, and adjusted rates at which players can acquire items, like, which was really silly at times. Like, people would just like, bullet bill, bullet bill again, hey, another bullet bill, and it's like, my man. And like, you're in knockout tour and you're like, I'm in first place, and second place is like, I got a bullet bill, and you're like, that doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah, not at all. You should have like a fucking green shell, and that's about it.
Alrighty. Vic, what about Ubisoft?
Yeah, man, this is the aforementioned company that I was talking about who also had layoffs, and this one really fucking sucks. Even worse because like this is the studio that just released Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced to one of the biggest releases of all time in any of Assassin's Creed games. And you know what they got to do to celebrate the launch of the game? 51
You're
people got laid
fired.
off for it.
Good success story, guys. Go fuck yourself. You don't have a job. What?
All I can do is shake my head, and it's just like I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah, what like it just yeah,
No matter how
it's
good
just
you do, it will never be good enough in the games industry.
mhm.
So yeah, let's talk about some more funny stuff. So we all know the game Mouse PI that's coming out. Um they're taking a jab at PlayStation this time around. They're advertising that their physical copy of the game will not require an internet connection to play and can be played offline. I thought that was funny. Like such a small studio, small game. Like I think it'll do well when it does release, but it's like, hey, let's this is a time for us to shine. This is a great marketing scheme. Yeah.
We're gonna fuck these kids up. Thank you.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I love it. That was great. Sorry, man. We got two last topics here for the evening. Let's talk about Germany's game preservation.
Yeah, so we just talked about all this digital stuff, and we talked at the top of the article here about the we talked about the ending of Stop Killing Games, which was the German initiative, but we put down at the bottom of the article, maybe not our best
Organizational.
best foot forward here, but yeah, so Germany's massive 60,000 game preservation of 1.5 million funding dries up, and the largest archive of games in the world goes broke. So now, at the same time that Sony is abandoning physical game media, they have to close their fund.
Depressing. Very depressing.
Super sad sauce, friend.
That's
Super
so
sad
crazy.
sauce.
Yeah, I never realized 60 games are spread across cartridges, floppy disks, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, alongside the manuals, packaging, hardware assembled since 2012. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, they had a full collection of the information like in the game. So like it was
Holy
pretty
shit.
cool.
It has 385 terabytes of preserved game,
Hmm.
and it's set
Yep.
to go offline in early 2026 as AI-driven demand drove up RAM, SSD, and again, it ties back to that same problem is like because of the cost of RAM, SSD, all that stuff because of AI and stuff is basically the cause of them running out of money because they can't keep up with the amount of stuff that they need to be able to make this stuff happen.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
gaming is in such a oh man, a
It's
rough
we're in a
turning point.
we're in a very fucked scenario for a very long time.
So let's talk about the biggest game of the existence of gaming potentially. Players in Australia for GTA 6 will need to have an ID to play the game due to online safety laws. So there's that. I mean, I've always known like you got carded for M-rated games when you go to GameStop and stuff like that. But I
Hmm.
guess like the severity behind this is even like way crazier than like the United States. Like we clearly don't give a fuck here. But in Australia, they take it very seriously. It says Rockstar may need to verify users are adults or they will face civil penalties of up to $49.5 million per breach. Like,
Hmm.
it's like you either make sure or yeah, you're gonna pay for it. But I'd be curious, like if it's one of
Make
those
sure get fucked.
like if it's going to be one of those like when you create your Rockstar account to be able to play GTA 6, like you're going to have to like upload your the picture of the front and the back of your ID, and then you're going to have to like take a selfie to to do that whole cross verification thing.
Hmm.
But it's like all you got to do is have your parent do it, and then like the kids can play it. Like it's more or less what we used to do is like when we were under 18 and we wanted to play Call of Duty, you had to have your mom there to reserve the game.
Yeah.
So fucking lame.
And you were just like, my mom says it's cool, and they're like, have a good day, kid. Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. Yes, sir.
All right. Or they just wouldn't even care. Like, okay, cool. Here's the games. Okay. Either I look
Psych.
18 or you just don't care.
¿Por qué no las dos?
So yeah, man, that is the week or a couple weeks, I guess, in gaming, and it's been probably some of the worst
Crazy.
that I've experienced, honestly, and probably some of the worst that we have covered. And it was like a lot of "I told you so's" from you. I know that that's been eating you up, and you're just like, "I told you so, I told you so," and a lot of this stuff
It
happened because
sucks
of
to
buying
be that
Activision
though.
Blizzard. Yeah, it does, because it's like not what we wanted, and but you kind of
Yeah.
saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, and I know we've gone back and forth like, oh, this should be good for Activision Blizzard. It should be good for them. Like it should. It really should. But like it just isn't. Like they're like, "Hey, we just hooked a cash cow. Candy Crush makes so much money." Yeah. Yeah, we get it. We know. But like and WoW is just a constant revenue stream after they rebirth like breathed life back into the game
Yeah.
years ago. WoW has just been a cash cow, and it's
And Call
just
of Duty's a cash cow. Like it prints them money.
yeah.
So Activision
I
Blizzard
yeah.
for Xbox just it prints them money just like Minecraft does.
Mhm.
And that's why like we didn't really see any real announcements for layoffs in regards to anything Activision Blizzard related.
Yep.
It was all everything else. Because
Mhm.
why would you cut your cash cows short? You're like, fuck that. They're printing us billions of dollars. What are you doing? Oh, you only had 330,000 downloads? Call of Duty did that in 1 hour.
Goodbye.
Like, okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And I was messing with Paul, Eternity or Inhuman Line, whatever he wants to be called by. Um, he just recently was playing South of Midnight the other day and beat it, and I'm like, see, you're the problem. You're part of the problem. You didn't play it when it first came out, so now they're gone. But it's like that game was so good, but like it just didn't get the attention that it deserved. Honestly,
It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't the best game I've ever played, but like
it was a good game.
it still made profit. Like who cares? Like money is money. Like not everything needs to be the same ROI across the board. Like
It was like a double
it just
double A like build of a game. Like it
yeah.
wasn't a long game. The quality wasn't like over the top. Like it was a very small game. So like what did you expect it to do?
Mhm.
Like if you rated it or like graded the whole outcome at a double A, budget and stuff like that, it would have did extremely well. But you place it in a range that it shouldn't have been. I mean, we saw that with
You're
we saw that with
yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush a few years back. Like that was one of Xbox's best release games in a very long time. But that studio got closed and later bought out, thankfully. So yeah, gaming is very draining
It's in a
right now.
weird
I'm not gonna
spot.
lie, it's in a really bad spot. That's for sure. But yeah, man, we can sit here and talk in circles about it until we're blue in the face. But hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, gaming gets better. But in due time, all we can do is play the games
We'll
and enjoy what we
see.
can.
Yeah.
But that's why we're here, man. We cover it all for everybody, and hopefully everybody appreciates us every week or whenever we can show up for the podcast. And hopefully we're good moving forward. But that is everything we had for you guys tonight. Any last comments or remarks?
Nope. Have a good
No.
week, guys.
And where can the community find you at then, man?
Hey, I'm here or on Discord.
And you can check me out at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin _ Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. If you want a game, hit me up there. And I haven't played on my PlayStation in a while, but if you want to add me there, it's VBrew24. Facebook is Vic Brewbacher for any questions, concerns, or if you want to come on the show. And make sure you check me out at Twitch at twitch.tv / Mr. Never Chillin, where I do pack rippings, some game playthroughs. It's been a while for that. I kind of like lost the drive to want to create content because it's been such a rough time in the games industry, and even the card market right now is driving me nuts because it's in a really bad state. Um, because it's in a overinflated state right now. It costs too goddamn much, but I'm
Yeah.
making the best of it because I'm making some keychains with my bulk and whatnot. That's been a lot of fun. So we'll see how well that goes and whatnot. So be on the lookout for some of my content, man. I got a little bit of everything. We do want to appreciate everyone. But until next time, peace.
Press start podcast.